Man, what's good, everybody? Rocking with the big dog, man. VA stand up. Big Lance off the yard. If you haven't already, make sure you subscribe, like, bing that fucking notification bell every time I drop one of these videos. You can get notified, man. You can be first on deck. So, we talk a lot about everything prison. We talk a little bit about politics. We talk a little bit about everything on this channel. But today we're going to talk about how, as a youngster coming in to the Virginia Department of Corrections, not only did I end up tricking my time up a little bit, but I saw a lot of my homeboys do the same shit, trying to impress motherfuckers that don't even need to be impressed. Okay? You don't need to impress people that ain't worth the fuck anyway, man. We'll get into all that, man. But if you haven't already, real quick, make sure you're checking out Big Lance Off the Yard on Instagram. Make sure you're checking out Fellas Embracing Freedom. And I believe there's a Big Lance Off the Yard fan club on Facebook as well. And, join up, sign up, check out everything that we got going on, man. We are doing big things in the communities. We're doing big things on social media. So, I've told this story before, but I caught an extra year in prison on my first prison sentence because me and two of my homeboys, we decided that we was going to give some jail justice to a pedophile child molester, man. This individual took a little kid across state lines into Virginia, and him and his buddies raped this little 6-year-old kid until their body was just, broke up. Since he testified on his homeboy, he only got 5 years. That wasn't good with us, man. That didn't sit right with us. So I took 3 bars of soap, put them in a sock, bashed this dude's head in. The soap ripped out of the sock, blew up, blah, blah, blah. We stomped him. Y'all have heard the story before. If you haven't, go ahead and check out some of my post video, my before videos. We talked about it a couple times in the past. So I want to talk about my second bid. I got out doing that 5 years, and I went back in 2002 for assault on a police officer. Okay? I got drunk. I was drinking 151. I was at a party. The landlord lived downstairs. He came up talking shit, wanted me and my buddies out the house. He shouldn't have done it. He shouldn't have fucking got in my face that night. Waxed his ass. They called the cops. I went out into the front yard. Ended up fighting about 5 or 6 police officers. But when I came out the front door, they were standing on kind of side. I tried to run out the screen. He tried to grab me. I caught him, bing, and broke the cop's nose. I got 3 years for it. Anyway, I went back into the Rappahannock Regional Jail at this point, all right? And there was this little local gang that, there was a couple little local gangs that had started up. We had the Dog Pound. We had Killer Mafia that was running around. And we had some dudes that called themselves RDLS. And RDLS was actually some close buddies of mine. I was actually a part of Killer Mafia when it first started. Now, what this was a predominantly white boy group, man. There was a few different ethnic groups and people in there, but mainly it was white dudes that, just pretty much started in the prison, in the jail, because we was just getting tired of getting bullied around. So we started this little shit up, and it blew up fast. Well, there was this dude come in there, my homeboy, Alex, and my other homeboy, Blue. We called him Little Boy Blue, right? So Little Boy Blue and Alex was rocking with the KM dudes, okay? Well, the KM dudes got to beefing with these Dog Pound dudes. So every time they would come in, you would see they lock everybody down, and they would call it between the doors, and you'd have these guys come in. It's a big glass enclosure. All the new booties that's coming in, you could see who they were. So they saw this individual come in. They knew what time it was. It was on site with these motherfuckers, man. The light was green. Motherfuckers knew if you, it's sort of like how a lot of these Spanish gangs are. When they go to war, it's on site. So this was right at a point in time when the jail was kind of going through a makeover. So the makeover was the old jail before they built this new one. They built the new one in like 2001. I was in the old jail where they didn't have cameras and shit. It was an old, like, Andy Griffith looking jail. It was only supposed to hold like 200 people, but they packed about 400 or 500 in there at a time. You had people sleeping on floors, had people fucking everywhere. Well, there was a lot of assaults. So the jail was starting to lay down these street charges real heavy, man. They were starting to say, look, You start fucking people up in here, you're going to get more time. Well, little boy Blue was in jail because he had a shootout in front of this bar called Cue Balls down on Route 3 in Fredericksburg. And he was already doing like a 5-piece. Alex was doing the same, right? I've known Alex since we was kids, man. If you're watching this, homeboy, much love. Alex is a solid motherfucker. Both these dudes are pretty solid for real. Well, we're all young, man. We're all still kids for real. Early 20s, you know? So we're just hot-headed. You know what I mean? We've all been to prison at least once already. So when the dude come through the doors, they let everybody out on rec. It was on site. These cats came right out the fucking door and commenced to whooping this dude bad, man, like real bad. And he got to the point where he was fighting a little bit at first, but as the fight ensued, he couldn't hold off the barrage of punches and kicks that were coming his way. He ends up kind of folded in the fetal position up under a table. In the pod, you're going to have tables, like metal tables and long tables with like implanted fucking stools and shit connected to the tables. Well, he got up under that thing, and Blue and Alex was holding the table and straight kicking this motherfucker in his head and his face, man, like really fucking him up to where his ears was bleeding and shit. Well, they locked the pod down to come in, hit the OC. Everybody locks down. They take Alex and Blue out of the pod, put them in isolation, bang them both in the motherfucking head with street cases. Now, these both kids came in with like fucking 5 years. And they both got about 20 for this assault. 20 years. None suspended. So this is 20 years they had to do to the door. And in Virginia, we do 85% of our time. So you do you do almost 4.5 on fucking 5. You do 4 years, 2 months on 5 years. So you break that down, man. There was these doing 20 plus. Now they're stuck. All because somebody else said that had to happen. You know, I stress this shit to youngsters, man, because youngsters don't see, they have a one-track mind a lot of times. They can only see what's right in front of them. But just like all you see is right in front of you, the future of these decisions you're making are right in front of you, too. You just got to look a little bit further, man. Something they say in the rooms and shit, man. Play the tape all the way through. I say this to my kids and shit all the time. Play this tape all the way through. And think about who you're, you know, giving your loyalties and shit to, man. Because do you think that all these dudes that was their homies kept it real with them? You think they were sending them money? You think that they was looking out for their families? Absolutely not, man. They don't even talk to each other no more. So we fly these flags. We get it tattooed all over us. We go into the system. We want to rep. We want to rep our city. We want to rep, you know, what we're about. I get all that. But don't be a dumbass. You know, don't be a flunky. Don't be a send-off. Don't be just somebody who people can say, go out here and do this. Don't be the motherfucker that doesn't question what people are telling you to do, man. That's what makes a leader. That's what creates leadership. Be a leader. The world is full of followers, you know. So I made it in my mind that I wasn't going to be a follower anymore. And my life has been a lot better ever since. You know, you have to, you know, as you're young, these older cats, okay, are going to come at these young bucks, man, because they know they can use them as send-offs, man. They're young, they're strapping, they're strong. And as we get older, we ain't got it in us no more to always go fucking hard, man. I'm 41 years old, man. The fuck I look like going hard. So if I was still on the other side of that fence, my goal would be have the young bucks. But here's the thing. The minute you turn a certain age, these courts are going to give you adult time. I got tried as an adult at 17 years old and went to adult prison. So think about these things, man. If you're a youngster and you got some of these people in your ear telling you about this brotherhood and telling you it's going to be, oh, man, it's a family. They know what to say. They know where to put an arm around you. They know where to go inside of your soul, man, because they're manipulative masters. Masters of manipulation. They've been doing it their whole lives. And I'm going to go ahead and put it out there like this. If there is a 35-year-old, 40-year-old man still in the streets, that is not somebody that you want to fucking look up to anyway. That's not somebody who has been successful in a criminal lifestyle. Because if you're that old and you're still gangbanging or thugging or repping, then you're not successful. You're still where you started. And I saw that. I saw that if I kept on doing what I was doing and associating with who I was going to be associated with, I knew the longevity of that situation wasn't going to be in my best interest. So remember this shit, man. Remember this when you are making your life decisions. Remember this when you're sitting back and some dude's like, yeah, we need to do this. Nah, motherfucker. You got a problem with somebody, you go handle it. Make people prove their self-worth to you. Don't lower your standards for somebody else, man. Make them raise theirs for you, to be around you. This is what we have to do to be leaders. Another incident, man, just a story that just popped into my head, actually, man. I'm going to tell it before I go, is I was on the bus to Southampton years ago. This was on my first ride, man. Just talking about how people smuggle shit in from prison to prison. And I'm not putting nobody on game right here, man. These fucking COs know what time it is. All right, so I'm not saying nothing that's going to get anybody jammed up. So people in the comments are always like, oh, God, you're putting the fucking COs on game and all this. And motherfucker, you don't even know what game is. What am I looking for? So we on the bus, right? And when you're on a prison bus, you go to different prisons and pick up different, you might get 4 people at Dillwyn. Then you might shoot over to Mecklenburg and pick up 4 or 5 people on there until the bus is packed. Then you all head out to the bullpen, which is at Powhatan, right? Powhatan used to be one of the worst prisons in Virginia. Most of it's shut down now. I think there's like a work camp and it's just like a receiving area now. But there's this big gravel parking area there, and it's got signs on these curbs that say the different prisons. And the vans pull up, boom, we all meet there at about 8 o'clock in the morning, and everybody gets put on the van that they're going to whatever prison they're going to. So we get on there, man, and there's this dude that gets on the Southampton van with me, right? So I'm chopping it up with this other cat. I'm not even really paying attention to nobody. Well, we make a stop to pick up one more person to take him to Southampton. The dude has to sit with the guy that's already on the van. The new guy gets on, he's got to sit with dude. With dude, one of the outside seats. So he stands up, and like when he did, he kind of stumbled back like this, right? And all of a sudden, out of nowhere, he starts screaming at the top of his fucking lungs, man. He's like, ah, but he's shaking, ah. Everybody's like, yo, what's up with dude, man? Why is he acting like that, right? So anyway, check this out. They don't even give this cat medical attention. He literally screams in agony for like the next 2.5 hours till we finally get to Southampton. They take us off the bus. This dude can't walk. So I'm already starting to assume he's got something up his ass. That's why he's acting like that. There's no other reason why he'd be acting the way he was. He rolls off, like when we get to the new spot, he rolls off the seat and just like ends up on the floor and he's laying there. So they walk us all through medical. Right? That's where you're going to go, right through medical, because you're going to have to get you got to talk to a nurse, you get your diagnostic shit, they take your blood pressure, all that, boy, temp, ask you personal questions about your health and whatnot. Well, they wheel this dude in on a cart, man, and he's screaming and screaming. So the long and the short of it is this dude had fucking took like a shampoo bottle. I'm not talking about a fucking big ass VO5. I'm talking about like a little prison issued, probably, too big to be going up your ass. I know that. Well, anyway, what had happened was he had packed it with tobacco from his last prison. This is right when they had shut down tobacco. And he fucking, when he got up or whatever and leaned back against that seat, the shampoo bottle had shifted in his rectum and it was sitting sideways inside of him, man. So it was causing him excruciating pain. It's tearing him up. Well, not only does he have to walk around now, so when he goes back on the yard about 2 weeks later, they stitch him up where they had to really go inside this dude and like figure out how to get this thing out of his ass. He comes on the yard and everybody's just heckling him like, yo, what the fuck, dude? Like how on earth did you even get that up in you, bro? Like you couldn't think of another way to do that? Me personally, I know it's tobacco. It couldn't have been no more than a couple fingers, which is uncomfortable, but I wouldn't have stuck it in the shampoo bottle. I don't understand that method. You know what I mean? But hey, at the end of the day, to each his own. I just can't imagine doing that. And these are the types of things that you're going to see, man, when you get locked up. And you can't act like it's a surprise because it's just normal everyday shit. The craziest shit that you think about seeing happens on an everyday, day-to-day basis in the penitentiary, man, because you got the craziest people there. You've got the insane. You've got the, just for real mentally fucked up people in there that you have to live around and associate with. You got the scum of the earth. You got child molesters. You have all these different types of people that you have to engage with on a day-to-day basis, man. And then at the end of the day, you got to keep your own sanity. This is not a fun place, man. People really do glamorize this prison life shit. And I don't know why. There's nothing glamorous about it. Not in the least. There's nothing glamorous about being in prison. So anyway, man, I hope you guys enjoyed the stories today. Stay tuned for more stories. Like I said, if you haven't already done it, right here, man, subscribe. Subscribe right there. So I love each and every one of you, man. Much love to the BLC. Much love to the Blue Collar Cartel. Stay sucker free. Make sure you're checking out Sucker Free Apparel, okay, on Teespring. It's also right under there. We got sweatshirts. We got the leggings. We got all that shit. All proceeds right now from all shirts and items sold through that are going to help a family in need during this COVID-19 stuff, man. So, you're doing a good deed by purchasing this stuff. Anything that I personally make, I don't make, but I think it's $4 or $5 off of each thing. But I'm putting it all aside to help somebody that's struggling. So we've been selling a lot lately, man. Not a lot, but more than normal. So if you want to be a part of that contribution, go ahead and do that. If you want to, contribute in another way, we do have the Cash App available. That is at Cash App, $123, all capital BLOTY. Help out somebody in need, man, this year. So much love to every one of y'all, man. Stay tuned, stay sucker free, stay up, and stay out.